Alrighty, how is everybody doing today? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the new Ford F-150, basically the electric Ford F-150 called the Lightning. Now, I'm going to be comparing this with the Cybertruck. Now, later I'll have more of a video talking about the stock and what I think is going on with Ford. Is this stock a buy? How well will this car sell? Stuff like that. But in this video, I want to specifically talk about this car and match it up closely with what would be the most popular electric truck that hasn't came out yet, which is the Cybertruck. Which one is better? What price point is better? Which one should you buy? Stuff like that. So it's just released, and I'm gonna show you everything we know currently. So as you guys can see, we have it basically right here. The design doesn't look too much different than a normal F-150. Basically, I think the lighting is a little bit different in the front. The grille has a different design. The interior is a bit different as well. But overall, it's not like anything crazy. It's not like a Cybertruck where it's a completely different design. So I guess that's a good thing. Ford is doing what they know, what they know and what they do best. And yeah, so we're going to be talking about price points and stuff like that. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. I'm really close to 1,000 subscribers. So if any of you guys, if you're not subscribed, it's absolutely free. You can unsubscribe at any time. Just click that subscribe button. That'll be really appreciated. So let's look at the specifics. Let's just get it out of the way. Let's look at the price point. Now, they keep these price points hidden on their website, right? So basically, the base model is $39K and it goes up to $90K. And you can't really see the other base models. Like, this website is not the best. I don't know if it's that clear. So they don't tell you like this model gets this price. They have this specs for this model. Like for example, Tesla site, you can see what each model, what specs they have. So it's easy to compare. But when you go to the Ford site, it's a little bit more difficult. But I did find it in small writing right here. So you can, if you press reserve now, it makes you log in, and you need like a special login, make an account. But if you go right here, it basically tells you what their pricing will be. So the entry model is $40,000 basically. And then the more equipped XLT starts at $53,000, and then it goes up to $90,000. So I'm guessing the $90,000 might be the top package. MSRP for base vehicle excludes taxes, stuff like that. So obviously these prices will probably have any like financial charges, dealer fees that a lot of dealerships have. So this is just MSRP. I know Tesla has like a 1,500 fee or something like that. So they're about the same price, right? The Cybertruck starts at, if you look at their website, they start at 40,000. So it's the same price. Like, if anything, the Cybertruck's like $74 cheaper, right? Same exact price. And so let's look at the base price. Let's see the difference in what they actually do. So you can choose a ton of colors to choose from. The Cybertruck is expected to come out at the end of this year. Like, it's technically already like revealed, but the actual release date, you can't actually get deliveries until the end of 2021. So at the end of this year, and mainly at the beginning of next year is when they're really going to start delivering these cars, especially the tri-motor. And then you won't get the cheapest one until late next year. You won't get the cheapest rear-wheel drive. So if we move on to the F-150, we can see that it says the first shipments will begin in spring of 2022. So those shipments aren't going to be until mid next year. And then obviously people will start taking deliveries probably in the beginning to middle of next year. And then I'm guessing that might be the most expensive variant. So basically they're coming out in similar time as the Cybertruck. If anything, the Cybertruck's coming out a little bit sooner. And this picture right here, it says is the one that's releasing fall or starting beginning of next year, right? So we can see here, if we go down to here, so 53,000 is the more equipped mid-series model. And then as you can see, the Cybertruck mid-series is about 50,000. So they're outpricing the Tesla. Actually, no, my mistake. They're basically matching the Tesla's price, 50,000 compared to 53,000. And the good thing about Ford is that you actually get a 7,000 rebate, I believe, that Tesla doesn't get. I think I saw that like the main thing on their website was the rebate. So that's one thing that's kind of nuts, that they're able to bring this price point pretty well with Tesla. I'm going to talk about the range as well, but then the most expensive model is $90,000. The most expensive Tesla model now is $70,000. So Tesla's definitely outpricing Ford. And with $70,000, I'm not going to lie, you get basically an insane amount of range. If this is actually what comes to market, even if it's not 500 plus, even if it's just flat 500 range, that is crazy. 2.90 to 60 is nuts. And then 14,000 plus towing capacity, that is pretty crazy. I believe the Ford F-150 Lightning's maximum towing capacity is only 10,000. So Tesla's 40% better with their tri-motor, and then their mid-range is better than what they have. They have an asterisk right here. It says max towing on XLT and the Lariat with available range. So the maximum package from what I see here is it says max towing. So unless they're lying or they're being deceptive, we can basically come to a conclusion that it's about 10,000 pounds of basically towing capacity. So I would say Tesla has them beat in this section, unless you're going for the real wheel drive, which is a bit less than 10K. But I think they're matching Ford. If not, Tesla's beating Ford on the towing capacity. So they're not beating in the towing and the range capacity for the rear wheel drive, and then the pricing. They're also beating Ford for the pricing. Now, the main thing about these two cars are obviously styling, right? The styling is completely different. If you don't like the Cybertruck design, you're not even going to consider it, right? I feel like one thing with Tesla is that they spend $0 on marketing, so they basically pass all that on to the consumer, where Ford, they have to spend quite a bit of money to actually get their products to sell. I think for every car they sell, they spend, I don't know the exact number, but they spend money in the thousands per customer, right? Where Tesla spends nothing. So that cost obviously gets passed on. So that's just a given that I don't know if they're going to be able to make a profit with these cars, but I guess we'll see. So the range, it's a bit hidden in terms of the front of their website. Maybe I'm missing something, right? Maybe they haven't updated this website completely yet. But from what I see, I think the range was about 220 miles. So right here it says, it had about, what was the range? It had about 220 miles. I'm not sure exactly where it was on their website, but I remember that the normal one was about 220 miles right here. So targeted EPA estimate is 300 miles of range, and I believe that's the most expensive model, right? 300 miles. And then it says the F-150 comes with a standard range battery that offers an estimate of 230. So the base model, cheapest model, is 230 miles, and then you can get an upgraded version of 300 miles. Let's compare that with Tesla's. The cheapest model, over 250. That's pretty good. They're beating Ford there. They have 20 miles more there, about 10% better. The dual motor is 300 plus. So they're basically matching Ford with that. I'm not sure exactly. They haven't specified how much the price is going to be on that. So that's something to see. EPA estimate of 300 miles. We don't know exactly what price point that's going to be like right now. Is the 300 miles going to be the most expensive variant? It might be. And if it is, Tesla has over 500 miles of range. So, oof. Like, I don't blame Ford. Tesla has been working on their technology for so many years, maybe a decade now, that I don't really blame them for not being able to reach that yet. Because I'm sure one day they'll be able to. But as of today, as of next year when they release this, yeah, I don't know if they'll be able to compete with the range aspect. Me personally, if you have a Ford truck, I mean, you're going to be maybe going off-road, maybe doing a lot of construction. You don't have time to charge for hours at a time, right? So I feel like range, especially in a truck, would be pretty important. If you have a sedan, maybe you're commuting, but then when you commute, that's it. Your car's parked, you can charge it. But in a truck, maybe you're always working, right? You can't leave work to charge. You don't have that leisure. So I feel like 230 miles might not be enough, especially since a lot of electric batteries, you can't charge it to 100% because it degrades it. And then also, usually the EPA estimate, this also goes for Tesla, 230, you don't actually get 230 miles, like same with Tesla. You get a little less because 230 is like the best case scenario of perfect weather conditions, perfect road, and all of that. Perfect, like if you're not accelerating all the time, then you'll get 230. So usually for Teslas too, like you're probably gonna get around 200, maybe a little less. So I feel like even for the Cybertruck, I feel like if you go for the single motor, you're gonna be okay, but you can't really get the most out of your vehicle, right? If you get that. So the next thing, we obviously know that both cars that will have autopilot. If you look at this, is gonna be the interior, right? Pretty similar interior in terms of a dash and then one screen. I don't think the Cybertruck will have a dash, but both of them have like a big screen. I believe the F-150 will have like their autopilot system, so will the Cybertruck. But one thing with the Cybertruck is that their autopilot system is a lot more advanced. So you have complete like the amount of data and the amount of places you can travel with the Cybertruck on autopilot is going to be far superior than the Ford. That's just a given. They have a lot more data. They've been working on it a lot longer than Ford and stuff like that. So we see that 0 to 60. Now let's look at the basically the speed. 0 to 60 in mid 4-second range. If we look at the Cybertruck, under 6.5 seconds. The dual motor 4.5. So it's a bit better than the Ford truck, the Ford F-150 electric or the F-150 Lightning. 2.9. You get under 2.9 0 to 60 on the Cybertruck. So I mean, yeah, the Cybertruck has that beat for sure. So you're probably gonna get around 4.5 seconds 0 to 60 on the Ford. And then yeah, you're getting a little bit better than that on the Cybertruck. So it's about same, but I think the Cybertruck has them beat there. It's obviously a 4x4, so both cars are four-wheel drive, except the single motor. The single motor, you won't get a four-wheel drive on the Cybertruck. So yeah, I mean, so far Tesla has Ford beat in most of the categories, right? But at the end of the day, man, I feel like styling is going to be something that a lot of people are going to be mainly looking at here. Pretty like good interior, right? And pretty like up-to-date interior. You can't really knock them on there. Pretty minimalistic, but also it keeps that F-150 look. It's not completely like redesigning it. If you kind of compare that to the Cybertruck's interior, I mean, if we go to like the interior of the Cybertruck, it's a little bit different, right? You have a complete countertop and then one screen. Like you don't have any of that traditional stuff that you have on the Ford. And then you have a lot of charge ports on the Ford truck. Like you have a ton of places to plug in and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. I believe the Cybertruck does as well though. And then you have trailer backup assist, so that's pretty cool. And then that's cool that they actually have that technology on there as well. And then one thing on the Ford is that they said you can potentially use that car as a backup power system to your house. So that's kind of crazy, right? That's kind of crazy that you can do that all with just the car. And then lastly, these are like the variants, right? You have autopilot, Copilot 360 on all the variants, I believe, even the XLT. So you have like all that autopilot stuff, the good old stuff on there. You obviously get a tax credit on the Ford. So keep in mind, all the pricing I said in this video, subtract $7,500 if you're eligible from the Ford, and that could potentially make the Ford a lot cheaper than the Cybertruck if you're taking into account the tax credits. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. There's a lot more colors to choose from. With the Cybertruck, you basically have no colors to choose from, I believe. You have one metal color, but with the Ford truck, with the Lightning, you have a lot of different colors. So I mean, I'm not here to make a conclusion on which car is better. This is just like a comparison. Make your own judgments. I mean, on paper, the Cybertruck's better, right? I'm not going to like beat around the bush. The Cybertruck's better on paper. At the end of the day, when we have to see when these cars release, what's better. Tesla has a lot better track record. Like for me personally, if I was to choose which car to buy, I would be a lot more wary buying the F-150 on release date. We don't know if there are going to be a lot of problems with the very first electric car from Ford. What if the batteries aren't as up to par? I'm going to be a little concerned. Tesla at least has a bit of a track record there where they've been making electric cars reliably for years now, for maybe 5 to 10 years now, and they've been pretty successful at it. So, I mean, if Ford released the electric Mustang, and that's been pretty decent, but it's just now coming out finally. So they're very new to the electric car space, so it's hard to see until we see real world testing, obviously. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll have another video coming out soon, probably talking about specifically Ford and their stock and more stuff like that. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you on my next video.